ride by, the line that went on forever, where one man is trapped in a never-ending car insurance payment line.
Wow, that sounds like a nightmare.
Right?
So why not skip the horror story and choose BCIC for all your car insurance needs?
You can go online and get a quote in less than 5 minutes. Or you can buy a policy in less than 10 minutes.
Plus payment options and so much more designed especially for you. BCIC, rethink insurance.
Hey, love, you excited for date night tonight? I'm seeing you at 5, right?
Of course, babe. I'll see you at 5.
In a world where our dreams sometimes seem so far away, Digicel is the partner that brings us all together. Stay connected this summer at home or on the go with Digicel Plus Home Fiber or a Prime Broader plan. Enjoy premium access to the action anywhere you're there. One side, one Digicel, one Jamaica. Digicel, better connected.
Life come with plenty tough decisions. But you know what not hard? Deciding which flavor to get on your amazing 4 pizza. Pepperoni, Hawaiian, chicken chunks, vegetarian. There's no pressure with Pizza Hut's amazing 4. You get 4 juicy flavors with one less choice to make. Pizza Hut, now that's delivery.
Parents, gearing up for back-to-school expenses? Well, Chris and Charles is making back-to-school as easy as ABC. From July 1st to August 23rd, 2024, borrow at low rates, and here it is! You could win one of 24 back-to-school grants of $50,000! Imagine the possibilities, covering all your expenses and winning big! Call us at 876-926-0609 or visit our website for details. Conditions apply. When you think loans, think Chris and Charles. Authorized on Section 58.
Sponsorship of this broadcast brought to you by
The entire Caribbean were glued to their television sets in hopes that Kishane Thompson would have been at the pinnacle of gold medal table. But it was Noah Lyles of the USA pulling off his best race thus far in the Olympics. Pulling it off when it counted. 9:79, a time that will be in his memory for a lifetime to come. Noah Lyles running the race of his life to defeat the favorite, Kishane Thompson of Jamaica. The USA has reigned supreme and will be talking about this for many, many months to come, even years, as the champion of the Olympics 2024 in Paris. Noah Lyles signals to the world that he is indeed #1 and stands on top of the entire pack. The fastest in the world has been accomplished. That title of Olympic gold medalist in the 100 meter, Noah Lyles of the USA. Jamaica settling for that second spot. Kishane Thompson, 1,000th of a second separating both athletes in a race that can be arguably said to be the fastest and the closest one over the last decade. What an amazing sight from Paris. And that was certainly a race not for the faint-hearted, but one for the good-hearted. I'm Sachin Ramsubag, and welcome to We Paddy Prime. What an amazing way to begin this episode of the show with the men's 100-meter final. Noah Lyles completing the victory. He spoke heavily, displaying his Yu-Gi-Oh cards, his showmanship, his gamesmanship, and backed it up with an amazing performance. And with me to discuss that amazing performance and maybe even some surprises is Jehu Gordon, who's smiling from ear to ear, and the lovable lunatic himself, Anil Roberts, who is a bit disappointed, I would say. But you know, we are all surprised, we are stunned, because no one expected, no one counted Noah Lyles, except maybe Jehu Gordon, to be finishing in that top spot, Jehu.
The whole world stood and took notice of this men 100-meter finals. And what I would say is Noah shut all the critics up. I know many people, especially Caribbean, after watching the semi-final rounds, they did not have Noah to be top of that podium. We all knew Kishane came in there with the fastest time in the world this year. Some people claim that he was inexperienced. And could his inexperience today cause him to lose the gold medal position? We saw that it went down to the thousandths of a second to determine the winner. 9.7 time, both men being given the same time. What can we say? We are happy for Kishane at the end of the day, but Noah Lyles, congratulations. I had you to medal, not to win gold, but great job to you and your support team.
You know, it really goes to show that when the critics are on your back and all the speculation, the only way to answer is on the track, Anna Roberts.
That's the way you answer. Put this camera here. Because Noah Lyles, let me tell you, I want to humbly apologize to you from the bottom of my heart. Because I watch you run first round, I watch your semi-final, you look off. In the semi-final, you drifted to the left of the lane on your first 10 steps. I thought there was something wrong. You were pushing harder with your right leg. I say you had no chance to come higher than 5th because Kishane Thompson looked comfortable, looked smooth. Oblique Seville looked brilliant. Young man, cool and calm. He beat you in the semi-final. He stopped running at 80 meters and beat you. And to tell you the truth, I thought you had no chance. I thought you couldn't back up your Yu-Gi-Oh cards, your gallery, your big raw and so on. But you are a real man. And you proved me wrong because that is a champion. You came out under pressure. You may not have been your sharpest. I don't know. But you came out when it mattered at the correct time. You had a horrendous start. And you put on, I want to see the speed from 60 to 100. What was his top speed? Because I feel that was the only man I ever see run faster than that was one Usain Bolt at that speed. So Noah Lyles, I humbly apologize for doubting you. And I am now a fan because any man who could stand like that and make the whole Caribbean get depressed when we thought is 1-2 Jamaica, I must say, enough respect, my brother. Brilliant. And for the 200 Jehu, he looking good. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, that was something, right? We all sat here glued to the television sets and listening to the entire Caribbean. We couldn't hear the entire Caribbean, but in essence, we could have heard them. We could have heard the pin drop silence throughout the many islands, throughout the millions across the archipelago. And, you know, credit must be given to Noah Lyles. We have Oba, who is joining us from the Paris commentary box, Obadella Thompson. Tell us, what were your initial takes on this race, Oba?
Yeah, I was thinking that Kishane Thompson will pull it off, but honestly, I'm not surprised that Noah Lyles did. You know, I was talking to Chris and Jehu before the finals and in between the semifinals, and Noah Lyles have put together an amazing last 40 meters, and he reproduced it in the final. Not going to do any stats in terms of being a nerd, but Kishane Thompson, according to the stats, led all the way from 30 meters to 19 meters. And then Noah Lyles came pretty much from nowhere and won. He is the fastest man in the world. I think it's not a debate anymore. Kishane Thompson did brilliantly for his first time at a major championships. Fred Curley proving once again why he was a world champion. And I think the biggest disappointment was Oblique Seville running down the line and finishing 8th after setting his personal best in the semifinal of a 9:81 to then turn up 2 hours later and run 9:91. That must be disappointing to him and to many of the Jamaican fans. But hats off to Noah Lyles, to Kishane Thompson, to Fred Curley.
Yeah, that was an amazing comeback. We just saw the race yet again. Coming from a position, I think, 6th or 7th, and then racing the entire pack, J-Hugh, to finishing on top of everyone else. That has to be something that has probably never even been done before.
Well, I wouldn't say it hasn't been done before. As Anil mentioned, we've seen Usain Bolt run from the back. But what Noah is known for is to close faster than anyone in the world. And Oba said he did not want to go into any stats, but throughout the semifinals, Noah closed at a speed of 0.5 meters per second, right? Most of the top athletes, they average at least between 0.7 and 0.8. So closing at 0.5, it means your top end speed is way superior. If you give Noah a head start of just about a meter, he will catch anybody at this point in time.
Yeah, interesting point indeed. That's an important stat to note. Possibly the reason why he caught up to the pack in the last 10 or 15 meters.
Let me tell you something. I don't know what all you're seeing about 6th. To my eyes, Noah Lyles was last out of the dry phase in the first 6 steps. Dead last. Kishane got out quite well. Curley got out quite well. But Kishane, you see, this is why experience counts. For the first time, all the videos we saw him in front of the media looking out, it was beautiful, it was artistic, it was effortless, it was relaxed. But at last 40, I saw Kishane tense up from his ankle straight up to his cheeks, tense, because he felt the pressure coming. Watch this. Noah Lyles is in dead last, and that man run from dead last, past everybody, past the 7 other fastest in the world, and went to the line. And his chest crossed that tape just before Kishane's head was there. But as we know, it's the chest. But that closing speed, I just have to say, enough respect to our big man. Big man, big player, bright lights. Wow. Anybody else after that start? Would it be okay to say run down there and come 5th? That man could gallery himself a little bit more. Bring more Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Why and all might get one.
J.U., tell us, what was your personal experience like looking at this race, seeing that, hey, maybe you had some predictions. I know we were talking Jamaica 1-2, maybe Noah maybe finishing in a 3rd spot, but what were your emotions like looking at this race, seeing that Lyles was coming up behind everybody else?
Well, this race had me on the edge of my seat in the first instance. I picked Kishane to win, Noah for 2nd, and obviously the other Jamaican, Oblique Seville, for the bronze medal. But after I saw the race did not really get away from Noah Lyles, and he was within striking distance, Noah's last 40 meters is just insane. And there's nobody in the world that I can put ahead of Noah Lyles to make such a comeback. And what made it even better is the blanket finish. I really cannot remember the last time that I saw 100 meters finish this close, with the last place finisher clocking 9.91 seconds.
Oba, I want to bring you back into the conversation. Where do you think it went wrong for Kishane Thompson?
I don't actually think it went wrong. It's just that Noah Lyles is superior at this stage. Anil had it right. Noah Lyles was in dead last up until, I'm looking at the data, he was dead last until 40 meters. So imagine in an Olympic final, you claw back the person with the fastest time in the world who's on pace to run 9.7. It's amazing. I don't think it went wrong for Kishane. Kishane ran the race that he was supposed to run. That's the reason he's the Olympic silver medalist. But we all have a lane. It's not a combat sport where you can stop someone. Noah Lyles was simply superior in that last 60 meters. His top end speed was superior to every single person in the race, and he put together the hottest, fastest segment in the race. The man is the fastest man in the world. At present, Kishane did an amazing job, but I don't think there's anything that he did wrong. I just think Noah Lyles was superior.
Noah is the real prime time.
Yeah, I think he really is the prime time. He entered into the track and really dominated everything. We do have an interview from Noah Lyles. Let's see what he had to say.
Noah, world champion, now Olympic champion. The thing is that you embrace pressure so very well and come out on top. Is there a newfound respect that should be towards you?
No. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. I'm not going to hate anybody that doesn't like me. But all I'm going to say is, don't downplay other people just because you don't like someone. Just go to the guy you like. But I appreciate anybody who has found respect for me. But to be honest, this crowd was amazing. This field was amazing. This is the exact field that I wanted to show up at an Olympic final. Because if I was to lose to, any of those guys in the top 3, I would have said, that's well deserved.
Talk to me about the race, though, and how close it was, and the time, a personal best.
Yeah, it was a very close race. I'm glad I had Oblique Seville next to me because I was like, I need somebody to put that pressure on me early. I know that in a lot of races he's been like 1 or 2 lanes away from me, and he's been able to get out just in the acceleration phase, and I've just been missing it. And I was like, nah, now that you're right next to me, I'm gonna make sure that I cover that. And then after I passed him, I saw Kashane out there, and I was like, just do what I do, hit my top end speed, let it work. And to be honest, I didn't know if I had it. I leaned, but I didn't know I had it. Me and Kashane were at the end waiting for our names to come up, and I came back and I said, I'm gonna be honest, man, I think you got that one. Yeah, but my name came up, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm amazing.
And you are. What do you take away from this in terms of your legacy? How do you describe it in this moment?
In this moment, I've waited a long time. I've seen Jamaicans dominate the 100 and the 200 for so long, and I remember growing up saying, when it's my turn, I'm gonna make sure that the U.S. is on top. And here it is. Here's my time and my journey, my moment, and it's such a beautiful thing to see.
Enjoy the moment, brother.
I thank you.
Indeed, a really beautiful thing to see. He said, well, it's my time now, and he's amazing. Well, someone who did an amazing performance, and 2 athletes as well representing the Caribbean in the 100-meter final, Oblique Seville and Kashane Thompson. Let's hear from them.
Kashane, 9.79 seconds. It was a really close one, same clocking as Noah Lyles. Your thoughts in the immediate aftermath of this final?
Honestly, I really enjoyed myself. It's my first Olympics. I'm really grateful. The only thing that I'd say, I should be more patient, because the way I should have run the race, I guess I didn't trust my speed like I should have, like previous times. But I know I'm inexperienced. It's not an excuse. I have to just adapt and overcome. Do a little better from here.
What are you going to be working on? Is it more on the physical front or more on the mental front?
Everything. No excuses. We sharpen what needs to be sharpened. If it's sharp than ever, we make it even sharper than ever. Just keep on bettering my best. That's all.
What do you take away from these Olympic Games?
First, it's a big stage. I think I have gained something tremendous from it.
Yeah.
A whole lot of pressure experience, I'd call it. So I'm really glad.
We're looking forward to the next one, Kashane. All the best and congrats for the silver medal.
One love.
Oblique Seville, 9.91 seconds. I want to get your immediate reaction to that race.
I'm very disappointed knowing that I could have run better, but I can't really complain because the same injury that I went to Dr. Muller for, it's the same one actually came back into the finals, and it's just unfortunate to me knowing that every year I make the finals and leave in the finals without an individual medal. So it's actually heartbroken for me because I know that I could have medal in this race, but unfortunately I felt my grind, so I couldn't be pushing no further.
I know it must be disappointing, but what is it that you take away from these games? What is it that you need to work on, you feel?
Well, I don't think I really need to work on anything. It's just that I am unfortunate at this stage, which is the I speak of track and field, the Olympics. Just that the injury step in the wrong time.
I know that you're disappointed, but this was just such a fabulous stage in terms of competing at the Olympics inside the Stade de France. Is there any positive that you can take away from this at all as you look ahead to the future? Because your future is bright, Oblique.
Yeah, I can take something positive from it because my Jamaican teammate Kishane actually come on the big stage and deliver. So it's just for me to add to that in years' time.
The agony of defeat and the euphoric feeling of victory all in those 3 interviews there. And, you know, respect must be given to Kishane Thompson because he said that, you know, yes, I may be sharp now, mentally and physically, but clearly I need to be even sharper in order to win, Anil.
You know who was sharp? Donald Oliver. That was one of the best interviews with Noah Lyles. Better than what they have on NBC and so on. Well done, Donald Oliver. But Kishane is correct. I mean, he used the word inexperience for the first time, as Jay Hugh told me while I was watching it. But he now understands what is experience because Noah Lyles backed up his talk. It didn't matter whether he looking good, whether Anil say he looking good, whether he drifted the left, whether he come out the blocks, whether he in last place. It was name, race, gold medal, and Noah Lyles showed class.
Yeah, Obadele Thompson, what are your thoughts on the reactions from those 3 athletes?
Yeah, Noah Lyles is Noah Lyles. He continued to be Noah Lyles. He's extremely confident. He showed up, delivered the goods. As he said, love him, hate him, he's going to be himself. Interesting interview from Kishane. I think he's going to mature tremendously. He doesn't really race as much on the European circuit. This will give him an opportunity to race some more, make some money, and be ready maybe for the World Championships next year. Oblique Seville, he did mention about the groin injury. He posted a couple weeks ago between the Jamaica trials and these Olympic Games that he was visiting Dr. Hans Müller in Germany. And I guess he had mentioned the injury. I saw an interview where he did mention the injury. He didn't specify what it was before, but if it flared up, it would explain why, if he cannot push off the blocks, that he just couldn't deliver anything tonight. And having been in a position where I've been injured at the championships, 2004 Olympics, I was injured. I didn't even warm up properly for the semifinals. I made the finals. Didn't warm up for the finals. Just in so much pain. It's very frustrating to come to that point to know that you're in shape and not be able to deliver. There's really not much you can learn apart from the fact that I'm here, enjoy it. That's it. But I suspect that hopefully he will get healthy and that he will be back and be able to get on that medal podium eventually in his career.
Ejihi, what are your thoughts on the entire situation?
Just to follow up on what Oba said, I could literally feel the pain in Oblique's voice. You know, the only thing we did not see him do there is break down. We know that he's been placing 4th at major championships already. He missed out on the last Olympic Games final. But for him to go out there, beat Noah Lyles convincingly at the Jamaican Grand Prix this year, beat him convincingly, equaling his personal best in the semi-final, he would have thought to himself, probably, now is my time. You know, so for him to go out there, re-injure himself in the final, placing 8th, to him, that is a big disappointment. He will probably question himself, what's next? How do I get over this? And mentally, into the future, we could probably see it playing on him.
Yeah, what do you think needs to be done, though, in order for the athletes from a Caribbean side, both Kishane and Oblique, to maintain their stature on top of world 100-meter athletics?
Well, injuries is something that people really cannot prepare for overall. But at the same time, it's really to do a body composition, understand what is going wrong, because it cannot be year in, year out, the same thing is continuously happening. So some form of introspection has to be done on his body composition to see where some form of tweak could be made. Interesting points indeed from Olympian J. Hugh Gordon. And we want to thank Thompson, Obadele Thompson, for joining us on the show today from the Paris Combox. We're going to return after the short break. Stay with us on We Paddy Prime.
Avec assez honneur, nous restons le bon. Nous mourons, notre éclat, nos cœurs sont élevés, India sont élevés. In the arena, we give our all, with grace and honor, we stand tall. Dans l'arène, nous donnons tout.
Sponsorship of this broadcast brought to you by
In a world where our dreams sometimes seem so far away, Digicel is the partner that brings us all together. Stay connected this summer at home or on the go with Digicel Plus Home Fiber or a Prime Broader plan. Enjoy premium access to the action anywhere you're there. One side, one Digicel. One Jamaica. Digicel. Better connected.
Be terrified by the line that went on forever, where one man is trapped in a never-ending car insurance payment line.
Wow, that sounds like a nightmare.
Right?
So why not skip the horror story and choose BCIC for all your car insurance needs?
You can go online and get a quote in less than 5 minutes. Or you can buy a policy in less than 10 minutes.
Plus payment options and so much more designed especially for you. BCIC, rethink insurance.
Severe back pain? Take Aleve Extra Strength. 2 Aleve can last as 8 of others, relieving severe body pain for up to 12 hours. Because what you do all day is important. Aleve is from Bayer.
It's the Paris Games, darling. Everything needs to be perfect. Sneakers and spikes?
Check.
Her looks?
Check.
Okay, team. Seems like we pulled this off in record time. So, I just want to know, where's the water? Thanks, but I mean the cases of water. So she can stay hydrated for the games? Where's the water?
I didn't think she was taking water with her to Paris.
Hey, Jacko!
The water team send the cases ahead, so if you're good, then I'm officially ready for Paris.
Track and field, swimming, or any sport. Place your bets on the 2024 Olympics and more at betcagesports.com and enjoy the payouts. Now available on Barbados, St. Lucia, and Antigua Barbuda.
We a bucket together when everybody out. Fried chicken with a pre-bucket for the crew. Share a bucket together, everybody go live. Spicy original when we online. Bucket together to the new dance craze. Taste explosion bursting with flame. When we a bucket together, it put you in a good mood. Every moment you share is finger licking good. Bucket together, come make we bucket together. Hey, bucket together, bucket together.
Sponsorship of this broadcast brought to you by
Having won her country's first global medal at the World Indoor Championships back in March, surpassing the 15-meter mark for the first time to secure gold. Thea LaFond has done it again, this time on the biggest of stages, the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. LaFond produced a new national record of 15.02 meters to create Olympic history for Dominica. The country is still basking in LaFond's success, and who better to share that joy than Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt. He joins us now on We Paddy Prime. Welcome to the show, sir. Thank you for being with us. And first off, let me extend my congratulations to you and the people of Dominica. Well done to you. Well done to the people of Dominica. And well done to LaFond. What's your initial feeling like when that medal was confirmed?
Well, it was difficult for myself personally to watch the entire competition. It was really nail-biting and very nerve-wracking. But we are very excited in Dominica, I can tell you. I mean, this is the first for us. One can appreciate our size, population-wise, and all of the other considerations. And Thea LaFond has certainly done it for us, and it's an immense sense of national pride. And as I've said to the nation, I can't think of no other time when we've had such sense of pride outside of the time that we declared our independence in 1978. And so we look forward to a major celebration in Dominica. I can tell you I've already appointed a committee to advise the government on those activities in recognition of Thea's extraordinary performance. And it's a great sense of, an immense sense of national pride for every single citizen in our country.
Prime Minister, I love the shirt, by the way. It really speaks to the entire celebratory team that you're having in Dominica.
Thank you.
Tell us, hearing that national anthem played during the medal ceremony on the podium, it must be a feeling that's none other than brilliant.
Well, I mean, one really can't explain the emotions and the feeling. And we're very proud of Thea's performance. It really speaks to an indomitable sense of intrinsic motivation on the part, perseverance, sticking to a task of being so disciplined. And the results at the Olympics has shown and paid dividends for this. But hearing the national anthem of Dominica, on the main stage, and so far sports is concerned, was an amazing feeling for myself as Prime Minister of the country, but certainly I speak on behalf of every single citizen and so many thousands of well-wishers we have all around the world who are celebrating with us.
Prime Minister Skerritt, Chris Taylor here. Obviously, Thea is now 30 years of age. She's studied overseas for quite some time. How has the support been from the country of Dominica? Because obviously she would have been overseas, even though fully dedicated towards the country. Is it something that you guys would have been regular in terms of communication with her, and what kind of support had she received from the country throughout her journey thus far?
Certainly. Well, we've been working with the president of the Dominica Olympic Committee, who really needs to be commended for his leadership of the Dominica Olympic Committee. So we've been working with him for many years. That's the government in providing support to Thea over time. She had to stay away from work, she had bills to pay, and we collaborated with the DOC in ensuring that she was able to focus entirely on her preparation for several international competitions. And so we were very instrumental. We were in touch on a regular basis for the DOC, and we really looked forward to this moment of she having won herself the ultimate dream of any athlete. So we've been supportive, and we're very grateful for she bringing the sense of pride to us.
I know that in terms of track, this may be new for Dominica, but we've seen exploits from Dominica in other sports, especially cricket. We can remember the likes of Billy Doctrove, who went right to the top of umpiring in cricket. We can think of Shane Shillingford, and of recent, Kavem Hodge and Alec Athanaze, who, with their exploits in the sport of cricket. What kind of celebratory package should be in line for something of LaFond's greatness in terms of when she returns home? I mean, has things been considered otherwise?
Well, we're considering. I have some ideas of my own. I'm not at liberty to disclose. I'll be having a telephone conversation with Billy Doctrove, the president of the DOC, this evening. And as I've said, I put a committee in place who will advise me. on a number of things I will do for her, but I have some things in my mind, and certainly I will speak to the cabinet on Wednesday and make some suggestions. But certainly she will be properly and appropriately recognized for bringing that sense of pride and immense joy to us here in Dominica.
Prime Minister,
and you spoke of the track.
Yes.
We do not yet have a track, but I will say to you, the next time I speak to you, by this time next year, Dominica will have a track in place.
The architects are busy.
That's right. I've spoken to them today, and it will be named in honor of Theo LaFond.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, indeed. Prime Minister, what's the feeling like on the ground currently? I mean, you know, were persons honking their horns and cheering and waving flags, etc., on the streets yesterday?
Well, people were really glued to the television. As a matter of fact, I mean, in driving through the city today, I mean, everybody was home waiting for the 12:45 medal ceremony. So everybody was home. On the streets of Dominica, people were just glued to the television, waiting to see Theo LaFond go into the center podium, the platform, and also to hear the national anthem. And I think people are waiting to hear what the government is going to put in place for Theo's welcome home and the activities. And I think we've been getting calls from North America, from Europe, Dominicans who would like to be part of this huge national celebration, which certainly the government will host in recognition of Theo's extraordinary performance.
Prime Minister, what will this win do, this gold medal victory do for the people of Dominica in terms of promotion of the country for the entire world?
I think it has shown that we have the capacity and the abilities, the natural abilities and capacities. You spoke of cricket. I mean, we've had some great track and field athletes in the past who unfortunately never were able to get to the medal stage at the Olympics. But this certainly speaks to the natural talent that we have in Dominica. And I believe that we need to find an improved formula so that we can have more of the Theo LaFonds bringing to the fore and ensuring that we can continue to win medals at the Olympics. And so this is going to be our focus, working with the Dominica Olympic Committee to ensure that we can hone the natural talents and skills of so many young and aspiring athletes that we have in Dominica.
Prime Minister, I know that maybe you did have a sporting program intact, but will more resources now be directed even more for the development of not just track and field, but just sport in general?
Well, certainly. I mean, we've been doing so, and I think this with Calvin Hodge and Alec Afanaz in cricket, and now we have Theo LaFond, and there's so many people who are following in their footsteps. I believe it is a time for us to even bring sports into a sharper focus. What we did about a month ago, we appointed a National Sports Council, and of course Billy Doctorow is the chairman of that council. And the cabinet has tasked that council with coming up with suggestions in terms of policies, in terms of programs, in terms of the type of resources we should have in place, in terms of the legislation we need to put in place, in terms of the infrastructure that we need to put in place, and the necessary support for athletes so that we can ensure we build on the natural and raw talent of our athletes and get them to the international stage, as we've seen with Alec Afanaz and Calvin Hodge, and of course Theo LaFond.
Prime Minister, before we leave, do you have, you and your prime ministerial team, have you decided on a national holiday, maybe a public holiday to celebrate this moment?
We're putting you on the spot.
I know, that's fine, that's fine. I mean, we have been receiving suggestions from Dominicans from all walks of life. We're taking note of the different suggestions, and of course, this is no doubt an opportunity for us to be united as a nation and to have one huge celebration, but really honoring Theo LaFond. I want it to be, while it's a national event, I want us to recognize the talent and the personality and the commitment to the sport and the person who has really brought that kind of national pride to us. So our focus from the government will be on Theo LaFond and ensuring that we do everything possible as a government, as a country, to say to her, we appreciate her, we are proud of her, and we're grateful to her bringing this sense of national pride to us and setting us up on international stage, you know, and bringing this international positive attention to Dominica. So we owe it to her, and our focus will be on her and celebrating Thea LaFond.
Prime Minister, I read between the lines there, don't worry. But thank you very much for sparing your time with us. We really, really appreciate it. And Prime Minister Roosevelt Scarrett there joining us from Dominica. We're going to take a short break and come back with more on We Party Prime. Stay with us.
Sponsorship of this broadcast brought to you by
Hey love, you excited for date night tonight? I'm seeing you at 5, right?
Of course, babe. I'll see you at 5.
It's the Paris Games, darling. Everything needs to be perfect. Sneakers and spikes?
Check.
Her looks?
Check.
Okay, team. Seems like we pulled this off in record time. So, I just want to know, where's the water? Thanks, but I mean the cases of water. So she can stay hydrated for the games? Where's the water?
I didn't think she was taking water with her to Paris.
Hey, Jacko! The water team send the cases ahead, so if you're good, then I'm officially ready for Paris.
Life come with plenty tough decisions. But you know what not hard? Deciding which flavors to get on your amazing 4 pizza. Pepperoni, Hawaiian, chicken chunks, vegetarian. There's no pressure with Pizza Hut's amazing 4. You get 4 juicy flavors with 1 less choice to make. Pizza Hut, now that's delivery.
In the heart of Kingston's business mecca is a 17-story gem. The Jamaica Pegasus Hotel offers luxury to all our visitors for business or leisure. Relax in one of our many deluxe suites with mountain or pool views. Savor the array of culinary delights in our Blue Window restaurant. Enjoy complimentary breakfast or visit our 24/7 cafe. We boast 9 extensive conference facilities for your meetings and banquets. We look forward to welcoming you soon at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel.
Sponsorship of this broadcast brought to you by
Welcome back to We Party Prime, fresh off her historic 100-meter triumph on Saturday evening. St. Lucia's Julian Alfred on a quest now for a sprint double, led home a trio of Caribbean women into the 200-meter semi-final. Alfred won Heat 1 comfortably in 22.41 seconds. The Jamaican pair of Anisha Berger and Lanitava Thompson secured their spots. Berger finished second in Heat 2 with a time of 22.54 seconds. Lanitava Thompson progressed after placing second in Heat 5 in a time of 22.70 seconds. Great times there indeed for that event. J. Hugh Gordon, Chris Taylor and Anil Roberts sitting in on this discussion, all dressed in red. I didn't get the memo, gentlemen. You could have sent me a simple WhatsApp message, but J. Hugh...
boss, man. Or is he laborer?
J. Hugh, another well-timed, well-performed event.
Well executed. Julian did not exert any more effort than she needed to. This is obviously the heats. She still has 2 more rounds to go to. After coming off the high of last night, I really don't understand if she got a proper good night's rest. I know Anil was concerned yesterday how she would recover, but as I told him, she's prepared for this. Her coach is a very serious guy. She understood from the beginning of the season what is at stake. She has the chance to be St. Lucia's first double Olympic gold medalist over the 100 and 200 meter event.
Alfred finishing, Chris, in the 6th fastest qualification.
Yeah, and I think it's a tough schedule. I think to come back after running the 100 meter in the evening
with
and then
minimal rest,
and then be asked to run a 200 meter in the morning is a little bit unreasonable. But Alfred was up to the challenge. I thought just coming around the curve, she did look a little bit tight, maybe a little bit sore, but it's understandable. But as J. Hugh said, she didn't exert any more energy than she needed. It's just about qualifying for the semi-finals, and she did that comfortably. She would be, the adrenaline, I think, would still be pumping from her gold medal victory. So yeah.
Right there, you see, I agree with Chris. Right there, you could see it's not flowing, it's not smooth. It's good enough. She's good enough to outclass that field, but you have to understand, first ever gold medal in history. The amount of calls, the amount of messages. She had to talk to the Prime Minister. She had to talk to the Sport Minister. She had to talk to the family. Everybody, the excitement, the adrenaline. She may have forgotten to eat. She couldn't eat on time. She definitely, when she lay her head to sleep, her eyes would not have closed. The adrenaline, the brilliance of winning a gold medal. However, the schedule is what it is. She did what she had to. Now she's got to focus. But what I like from what J. Hugh said, the coach don't make no joke. So the coach would have said, listen, we come here on a mission. We come for double. Cool yourself. We will celebrate. We will talk after. Tell everybody, switch off the social media, switch off the phone, massage, sleep, get ready. But Gabby Thomas, talk about that Yankee kind of good, you know.
Kind of good. Before we get to that discussion with Berger and Thomas, J. Hugh, Anil mentioned the fact that she would have received several calls and several messages and so on. I know for a fact her Instagram jumped by 10,000+ followers in the space of what, 3 or 4 hours. But tell us, what's it like dealing with that social media? What's it like dealing with those barrage of calls that one may receive after such a victory?
Well, the most important person to you at that point in time will either be a coach or your parents, any immediate family at that point in time. So everything else that is going on social media, you're not really going to pay too much attention to it. You know that is going to cause a noise. It is going to be a distraction. You don't want to spend too much time there. So the person's closest to you, Anil said the Minister of Sport would have liked to call. At that point in time, he had to wait till the following day to talk to me because I still had to make sure that I recovered properly. Once you win a gold medal at the Olympic Games, they're going to drug test you. So more than likely, she would have been drug tested yesterday to ensure that she does with it. We have the fair sport. The WADA is doing a great job in terms of weeding out doping in sports and things like that. So I would only like to believe that after she won her gold medal yesterday, she would have had to go through drug testing and then head home after.
Well, you know how to jump in there. See you watch me something. Put the camera here.
I was hoping you didn't jump in.
I had to jump in quick because they need, if you want clean sport, forget this mama gizam about in-competition testing. Everybody who reach there is clean. Drugs don't help you perform on the day. Drugs help you recover in hard work. You want to stop drugs? Test out of competition. And to answer the Chinese world record holder Pan Xinlei, who said why we harassing China, it's because systematic doping from 1990 to 1994 that your whole country got caught. Every medal you took from 1994 World Championship, 1996 gold medals with Jinji Lee and Chan Ying in 1996 Atlanta were all tainted. 23 positive tests. That's why you're under the gun. Yes, there's cheating all around individually, but when a country like East Germany or China back in the 90s does it, or Russia in Sochi really cheating, you've got to be real. But this in competition testing is a waste of money. It's mamagism.
All right, strong points indeed.
That one sure is a
yeah.
Check him, doctor. Check him.
Yet again, his O2 level concentration probably dropped there. His adenosine triphosphate level certainly skyrocketed once again. But Chris, you know, the other two Caribbean contestants, competitors in this event, do you think they have what it takes to get to the final?
It's going to be tough. I don't think it's necessarily the strongest field I've seen in a 200 meters, so it's opportunity for others. As I said, Sharica being out as well, the other Jamaicans will want to step up to the plate. Season best times haven't suggested that necessarily for Berger or Thomas, but as you said, you're in the semi-final, you're in with a chance. You get a good rest, you recover well, go through the massage that Annie likes to talk about, eat a good meal, and you know, you and your coach prepare. So there's, as I said, this field is not the strongest I've seen. So there is an opportunity, but I think they're on the outside looking in.
Yeah, Jehu, you've been very on point with your predictions and with your judgment and with your analysis. What do you think the athletes need to do to ensure that they get into that final from a Caribbean side?
They will have to do something that they've never done before. Most of these young ladies relatively new to this type of atmosphere and environment. So they average about 22 low currently, but it will take just below that to ensure that they book a spot in the final and even solidify a spot on the top three.
Arnold, can anybody beat Gabby Thomas?
The only human being on this planet who could test Gabby Thomas is that light blue, that St. Lucia flag, Juju. If Juju can recover and the coach can get her ready, Juju has a chance. I still think that Gabby Thomas is the favorite, but I go in with Jehu that the coach is a serious man. He's going to make sure that she's ready, going to make sure that she is not satisfied or happy in any form or fashion with the 100-meter goal, that she remains hungry. Because if she has to win, she has to be hungry like she didn't eat food. So she cannot think about that one gold medal she has already, because that woman there had no gold medal. And she come in hungry, she come in bad, and she is a 200 specialist. So Gabby Douglas versus Juju. Gabby Thomas, Gabby Douglas.
Don't forget Flavor.
That was gymnastics 2012.
Don't forget Flavor, the Nigerian. Very good season so far.
Good for
ran a
bronze.
personal best as well, so she'll be right in the mix too.
Correct. And now I'm going to ask if the same prediction you will go with for the men 100 meters, because Noel has the double to do also.
No, he win. He win. No, all of a sudden. No, but from that, but all of a sudden, the man come from last, run past, the fastest thing I see in a long time. Finish, go look like he could have run around the 200 right there and bust down at 19.4. Noah Lyles, that 200 is yours, boy. Enjoy it. Bring Yu-Gi-Oh card for me.
His house is up for sale.
Well, that's a discussion for another time.
Chris, Jacobs didn't win no medal, boy.
All right. That's a discussion for another time. We're going to take a short break and come back with more on We Party Prime. You don't want to miss the continuation of the show. Stay with us.
Sponsorship of this broadcast brought to you by
In a world where our dreams sometimes seem so far away, Digicel is the partner that brings us all together. One side, one goal. Jamaica.
Absolutely incredible performance.
Be terrified by the line that went on forever, where one man is trapped in a never-ending car insurance payment line.
Wow, that sounds like a nightmare.
Right?
So why not skip the horror story and choose BCIC for all your car insurance needs?
You can go online and get a quote in less than 5 minutes. Or you can buy a policy in less than 10 minutes.
Plus payment options and so much more designed especially for you. BCIC, rethink insurance.
It's the Paris Games, darling. Everything needs to be perfect. Sneakers and spikes?
Check.
Her looks?
Check.
Okay, team. Seems like we pulled this off in record time. So, I just want to know, where's the water? Thanks, but I mean the cases of water. So she can stay hydrated for the games? Where's the water?
I didn't think she was taking water with her to Paris.
Hey, Jacko!
The water team send the cases ahead, so if you're good, then I'm officially ready for Paris.
Sponsorship of this broadcast brought to you by
Welcome back to We Party Prime. Julian Alfred created history in the City of Lights on Saturday by becoming the first athlete from St. Lucia to win an Olympic gold medal in the women's 100 meter at the Paris Olympic Games. St. Lucia's Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip J. Pierre, joins us to talk more about this historic moment. And what's the mood like in St. Lucia, Prime Minister? Welcome to the show, and thank you for sparing some time with us. Ça café, and you know, this has to be something really brilliant.
Yes, really. First of all, I want to thank you for having me. I want to say good afternoon to all the viewers of SportsMax. I try to watch SportsMax myself when I have some time. Well, St. Lucia is happy. St. Lucia is joyous. St. Lucia is feeling proud, because we are feeling proud because we really made history. Julian Alfred is a daughter of St. Lucia, and she made it. But she has that potential has been in her from childhood, and she's grown, she's matured, she's exercised the necessary discipline and commitment, and now she is out on the world stage, the world 100-meter champion. We're very proud of her. We saw that she won the race from the start. I mean, from as soon as the gun went, she was up front, and if you see her, she's leading the pack, and she won. We are very happy. We couldn't be happier. St. Lucia is in a mood of joy and contentment, and we're looking forward to the 200 meters to see what can happen there, where we hope she can also bring us gold in 200 meters.
Prime Minister, you sound like an analyst there when you were telling us about the moment she went off the blocks.
I listen to you. I listen to you sometimes, right?
Well, thank you very much. You know, what was the feeling like in Gros-Islet, in Soufrière? What was the vibe like? We saw a video going viral that, you know, a big screen was set up with speaker boxes and hundreds gathered to witness the final. Was this something that you inspired, or your committee?
But I'll tell you what, I was actually in the city in Castries among the people. There were hundreds there. There were hundreds in Cicero. You see, she was born and went to school early childhood in Cicero, and Cicero is about 4 miles from Castries. So they set up a screen in Cicero. They set up something in Viewfort, in the sports bars, in Grosley. It was, everyone was just waiting to exhale. And when she won, the whole country erupted. The whole country erupted. In Grosley, in Cicero, in Castries, everywhere, in Viewfort, the entire country. And then we're hoping to do the same, as I said before, on Tuesday in the 200 meters. That's what we're looking for. We want 2 gold medals.
Prime Minister Pierre, was this moment somewhat expected from Julian? Was it something that St. Lucia and yourself were expecting or waiting for, considering that right from a junior, I mean, producing big performances, Commonwealth medalist, medalist at the Youth Olympics years ago. So was this something that was always shaping up for Alfred and for St. Lucia?
And that became more significant when we saw the way she ran the second heat. From the time she ran the second heat, in fact, somebody told me, I have on my WhatsApp, I sent a note to a friend of mine, and I said to him, she has to medal. But I didn't tell anybody that, you know, because I didn't want to as I say, St. Lucia, I didn't want to blight her. But from the second heat, the way she ran that second heat, we knew that she was on her way. In fact, the semi-finals, we knew she was on her way to victory. And you see, and she's been winning consistently. She's been doing better. She's progressing. She's been doing better. And she has not, and I'm sure she has not yet reached her peak performance. We expect better from her. We expect more from her. St. Lucia is waiting for her because we know that she is a consummate and disciplined person. And I want to say, whilst we rejoice, I want to send out a message to all the young people in the entire region. Because whereas St. Lucia won, the Caribbean won, CARICOM won. So I want to send out a message to the young people in the entire region. Right now, we have some issues. We need our young people to understand that a discipline with commitment and the necessary sacrifice, plus some support, you can make it to the top. So I want to instill in our young people that it's time now for us to use Joel Alfred and all the athletes. I noticed Thompson came second in the 100 meters for men. All the athletes as well. The athlete from LaFond, from Dominica, yeah, the bronze medalist from Grenada. We have somebody in the 800 meter final from St. Vincent. So, you know, it is a time when the entire region, I know St. Lucia wins, Jamaica wins, but we have to look at it as a region.
The Windward Islands are on fire.
And the OECS in particular, we're on fire. And incidentally, I just became chairman of the OECS authority on Friday, so that was a good present for me.
I must ask you, is it a strategy of St. Lucia? Because I've seen outside of track, other sports as well, where you've sent your athletes overseas to get exposure in terms of the exploits. We've seen the footballers go to other Caribbean countries or US. We've seen the athletes, the runners, go to the US. Julian Alfred as well spent quite a bit of time in Jamaica. Is it a strategy from a St. Lucian perspective to also encourage athletes to go outside of St. Lucia for other opportunities as well, or to strengthen their craft?
Well, you see, we believe in exposing our athletes, give them the best possible chance. We just started a semi-professional football league where we have 17 teams playing semi-professional football. They get a stipend to play football. We want to develop that. We want to ensure that we get coaches, we get the necessary psychological advice, the necessary training, because a lot of sport is mental. So that semi-professional football league, we want to expand it. But what has happened is that we have an elite desk at the Ministry of Sport, where we, with the help of coaches, we choose our best athletes and try to get scholarships for them. Scholarships in the US. In fact, some of our athletes are in Europe, particularly our footballers, some of them in Europe. So we are making an effort with the support of the Ministry of Education. Education and sports are working together. So we can get our athletes and our footballers out to get an education and to get better in their particular field of endeavor. Because St. Lucia has a rich history of athletes and sports people. You may recall in bodybuilding, there was a guy called Rick Wayne, who was Mr. Universe, and he was also a St. Lucian who went across to the US. Then we had Darren Sammy. Darren Sammy, you know all about Darren Sammy. So we have a history of pretty good athletes. We had Lovin Spencer, and we are trying to develop it. And there's some very good ones, some very promising ones. There's a girl called London, Miss London, and also a sprinter. Very, very promising people. We have some swimmers who took part. We have Michael Joseph was in the 800 meters. In the 400 meters. There's Odlum who was in swimming. So a number of athletes, and we are developing them. The government is supporting, government is helping, and we hope to be able to produce many more Julian Alfreds for St. Lucia and for the region.
Prime Minister, it would be remiss of me not to ask you, we have the Darren Sammy Stadium. What plans do you have for the athlete Julian Alfred? And will it be a national holiday this week coming, sometime during the week, for St. Lucians?
Everybody's asking me that. All I can say to them is there will be a holiday. As to the date, but I can say on SportsMax, and I'm making that announcement on SportsMax, there will be a holiday.
You heard it right here, Prime Minister. Round of applause to you and your cabinet ministries. And congratulations once more to you and St. Lucia. Thank you very much for sparing some time with us. We thoroughly appreciated your company. We're going to take a short break and come back with more on We Paddy Prime. Stay with us.
Courage, our hearts beat. De chaque nation nous venons pour rivaliser.
Sponsorship of this broadcast brought to you by
Everybody out, fried chicken with a pre-bucket for the crew. Share a bucket together, everybody go live. Spicy original when we online. Bucket together to the new dance craze. Taste explosion bursting with flavor. When we a bucket together, it put you in a good mood. Every moment to share is finger licking good. Bucket together, come make we bucket together. Bucket together, bucket together.
Hey, love. You excited for date night tonight? I'm seeing you at 5, right?
Of course, babe. I'll see you at 5.
Sponsorship of this broadcast brought to you by
the last one remaining of the big three, Elaine Thompson-Hera, not at the games due to injury, and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price scratching from the 100-meter semis. The two-time 200 meters world champion and Tokyo 2020 100-meter bronze medalist Sharica Jackson, who had earlier withdrawn from the 100-meter at the Paris Olympic Games. The two-time world champion was a late withdrawal from this morning's 200 meters. In her final race before the Olympic Games on July 9th in Hungary, Jackson pulled up running the 200-meter. Gentlemen, another huge blow. We were discussing when she pulled out of the 100-meter, Jehu, that this could also be a possibility. You know, just hoping and praying that she continued in the event.
Well, some said that she was preparing for a stronger event, which is the 200. She was a 400 athlete before. But we saw the early signs. She pulled out in Hungary, or she claimed that it was a cramp in her hamstring. But it just seemed that it was a bit bigger than a cramp. And obviously now having to pull out of the 200 meters, it says to us that she is not fully fit. I believe that it is the right choice for her not to compete. But again, now we have another athlete who probably would have had the opportunity to run the 200 in place of Sharica, but given the late withdrawal, we now have to go with two representatives.
Chris, unfortunate news indeed from a Jamaican perspective, especially. The Jamaican fans are probably very, very disappointed.
Of course there will be, and you know, concerns for Sharica. I do wonder if it was only a cramp based on the fact of how long it has been. So obviously I think the issue is a little bit more serious than divulged, but it's unfortunate for Sharica. Should have loved to have come and made a statement here, and I think in this field she could have dominated or been very close to that gold medal position. So I think from a Jamaican and Caribbean perspective, that's a big disappointment for them. But we have to just hope that Sharica will heal well, will get back to full recovery and be able to compete. Of course, next year is a World Championship, so that is something for her to look forward to as the season continues. But yeah, disappointment for the Caribbean, but it's the nature of sport. We can't control injuries at times, and we just have to hope for the best.
Anil, really unfortunate news yet again, but from a coaching side of things, you also are very scientific with the way you deal with injuries and so on. Unfortunate news.
Very unfortunate news, but with all due respect, when there are injuries, that's okay. But when this topic came up a few days ago, and I was discussing with Ricardo, I said, whatever, if she has to pull out of the 100, she's not at her peak fitness. There is something wrong. They were not answering. They were not giving information. It was top secret. That's not how you operate. The Olympics is about people. It's emotion, it's passion, it's patriotism. You've got to let us know, because now, with all due respect, I am a coach, so I now understand that there has been an issue that has been ongoing. But at some point in time, you have to be man enough, coach enough to say, listen, my athlete's future is more important than one race. I must open an area for my country and for the next one coming up. I must not hold it. I must not keep it. I must not hope upon hope and then come out now, and my country is one woman short when there are young ones coming up. So we knew something was wrong. I was not happy, I must say, as a coach. I was not impressed with the answers about who is the coach and who is not the coach and can't answer, and I can't talk for this one. Once she came out of that 100, Sharica Jackson going into the Olympics is a double gold medalist contender. Coming out and picking and choosing meant that there was a problem. I'm not happy with how this was dealt with at all.
Gentlemen, some other Caribbean athletes. So, Chris, you wanted to make a final point on this topic?
No, I was just saying that, unfortunately, she's not the only one which suffered a double blow, because Stephen Gardner, the reigning Olympic champion as well, had to pull out from the Bahamas, and I think that's a big disappointment, because he would have been a big medal contender in the 400 meters for men. So I think it's a double blow for the Caribbean. Yes, Sharica, but also Stephen Gardner.
He is the defending Olympic champion.
Right. So, I mean, that's a big deal in itself. And he hasn't had the best season, Stephen Gardner, because he's had his injury problems. But, you know, as I said, once he runs, he tends to win or medal. So, I mean, he has a big history about him. And I think that's very unfortunate for the Bahamas and by extension the rest of the Caribbean.
Jehu, other Caribbean athletes participating today and doing well. Shafika Maloney in the 800 meter. We sat to look at that game together.
Yeah, to me, Shafika was a big surprise. I can't remember. I don't even know if St. Vincent ever had any representative in an Olympic final. The last two persons that I can remember is Courtney Williams running the 100 meters and Kenique Alexander, a 400 meter representative. So a big feat here for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And just to give you all a little history, my both parents are from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So, Mission Shafiq, congrats for my big brother.
A special one.
A special one.
And a national record.
Yeah, national record.
Yet again.
We sat there and we were saying that, hey, this is going to be tough for her because she was coming around the bend and then she opened up the pack from like 5th or 6th position and ended up being 2nd in a heat, Jehu.
Yeah, when we saw that obviously they have the new repechage system going on now, and she mitigated around that to not have to go through the repechage. It gave her enough energy now to rest up, recover, and give it her best showing. She had to improve on her personal best if she had to book a place in the final. She was well poised, she was mentally ready, she was locked in, and unlike Natoya Gould, who we saw continuously making the same mistake over and over and over again, Shafiq, she learned from probably the mistake of Natoya and went out there solidifying her spot in the Olympic final.
No, massive. And I mean, to break the 158 barrier for the first time, 157 odd, I think almost shaving a second of her previous time in the heats, I think was magnificent on her part. And she was just one of quite a few other Caribbean athletes, as you said, performing big on the day. I mean, we had so many Caribbean athletes on the track today and in the field as well. The 2 long jumpers, 2 out of the 3 long jumpers from Jamaica making it through. McLeod, Gail, unfortunate, not qualifying, who is a former world champion. I'm not sure if Stephen Francis will have to answer that one as well. And from a 400 hurdles perspective, I think all the Caribbean athletes through, and there are 110 hurdlers as well. So a lot of Caribbean athletes. Antoine Andrews from the Bahamas qualifying in the 110 hurdles. Hansel Parchment, Broadbell and company. So the Caribbean massively represented on the track today. And you know, it was a lot to look forward to. And for the majority, qualifying for the following rounds is a big deal, and congratulations.
Just 2 little points. I think everybody in St. Vincent should watch that last 115 meters in that 800. That was passion. That was an athlete putting their entire, every sinew of their being out for the country to get into that Olympic final. You have to be proud as a Vincentian. It was amazing.
One thing just to note, so we saw the fight, we saw the hunger, and we saw the passion, but a lot of people don't understand the journeys. And I was reading an article earlier today, and it mentioned that she was homeless in 2023.
And on the verge of retiring from a sport, giving up.
On the verge of retiring. So to go from homelessness to now reaping all these types of rewards and benefits, it just goes to show that hard work really does pay off, persistence and dedication.
Respect. And it was a collaboration. I mean, it was aired on SportsMax, the SportsMax zone, and there was an opportunity for the Vincentian government to see the need to help her, and they reached out. So credit to the St. Vincent and the Grenadines government as well.
Stepped in. Yeah, correct.
So that's a big deal, and you know, had it not been for that, who knows what will happen tomorrow or so, and if she will actually get on the podium.
Life-changing.
I mean, she's increased every time. She's improved, I should say, every time, and that's massive.
It could be a life-changing moment for her, but Jareem Richards doing well on the track as well in his event. Anna Roberts is very happy because we were talking heavily.
Red flag.
Heavily.
Everybody
the dream looks smooth.
Yeah.
All you just lay your head on a pillow and dream sweet dreams. That boy looked good. Out there late night outside, he went out comfortably. With 100 meters to go, he didn't know he had them covered. With 80 meters to go, he glanced to the left. He looked at the Stade de France. He looked at the crowd. He looked sweet. He looked good. The dream is real.
I think he'll make the final. I think he looks very good.
He looks in good nick.
Right now we don't want Anil to wake up and keep dreaming.
No.
I going back to sleep, but
take a nap.
Kirani as well.
Jareem is one of Trinidad and Tobago's better medal hopes. We know that he is a 200-meter runner also, and we may see him contest the 200, so we're still looking forward to see if that is something he's going to do. I believe the 400 meters is his better event in terms of chancing an Olympic final and also a medal on the podium.
Yeah, just quickly, Djokovic getting a gold medal today as well, gentlemen.
Respect.
Finishing off his entire cluster of medals, maybe a moment that, you know, he could just probably call it today. He's achieved everything.
What I just want to say is that the Olympics have come of age. Chris will talk more about the tennis. He's a former tennis player and so on. But the Olympic Games in tennis have come of age. It was only back in 1996 and so on that professional tennis players began to play, and some would pick and choose. But now we can safely say that the Olympic Games has taken a place like a fifth major in golf, And in tennis, it was amazing. Packed crowds to see Roland Garros in blue was amazing, Chris.
No, career Grand Slam for Novak Djokovic, arguably the best player ever in the sport. And to say that now he's won all the Grand Slams on all surfaces, and now to add the Olympic gold, massive for him. He's been to the Olympics before, he's tried and not executed it. For him to do that now against Alcaraz, who is I mean, I know he's number 2 in the world now, Alcaraz, but the two of them doing so many big battles, 7-6, 7-6. It was a top match, beautiful one, and Djokovic broke down totally after, complete tears. He had to wait a long time before doing his interview because of the emotion. And it just showed this is a man who's done everything in tennis. Records in so many different things, and to see that kind of emotion, to me, is what the Olympics is about. You know, top athletes still showing that they're human at the end of the day and showing that raw emotion. Big.
Well, we do have the medal tables for you. The athletics medal table comes up first up, and Jamaica are not in the top 10. We're going to see that medal count in a little bit there. We have the USA with 9. There we go, athletics medal table. Ukraine second with 3 in total. And that's from a Caribbean side of things. Dominica in the top 5 with 1 gold and, of course, 1 in total there. St. Lucia as well in the top 10 with their medal. Gentlemen, your initial reactions, J. Hugh, from that medal table?
Well, with Jamaica not featuring any top 10 as yet, obviously.
They're 11th spot, though, not too far behind.
Medals will be there to come tomorrow. We have the long jump finals. No to J. Gale in the final, but we have two other guys representing Jamaica in the finals, which stands a good probability.
Yeah, Wayne Pinnock and McLeod as well. And McLeod has had an excellent season, Kieran McLeod. So the expectation is that, well, let me not say the expectation, but they have a real chance. Obviously, Tentoglu from Greece, the favorite, but yeah.
But they put the top 10 based on gold, because remember, Jamaica have a silver and a bronze.
Oh, for sure.
2 silvers.
Or 2 silvers. 2 silvers, sorry.
Wayne Pinnock is the silver medalist from the World Championships last year, so we expect to see him feature in the top 8 and at least challenge for those medal positions.
And that's a look at the overall medal table so far for Paris 2024. The USA, Mr. Anil Roberts, is on the top.
Because they popped up because they saved themselves in swimming. This was the first time in history that the USA was in jeopardy of not winning an individual male gold medal. But the 1500 meters, Mr. Fink from USA won the gold in a new world record of 14 minutes 30.67, which means that he averaged 58 seconds per 100 meters for 15 consecutive 100 meters. Back in the day in 1978, Salnikov was the first man.
Here we go.
Don't interrupt me. Quick, we have no time. Yes, 14 minutes 30. Wow. Back in 1970, 78 and so on, Vladimir Salnikov was the first swimmer to break the 15-minute barrier. We now have a man winning a gold medal in 14:30.67. Brilliant.
Would you just love the stats of one Anil Roberts?
I know pay panting here, man.
Just 14 minutes.
True history.
No thanks.
Oh, my goodness. That operating system is something different, folks.
Dream. Everybody go home and dream sweet dreams.
Well,
from point 14.
We're not dreaming. We're not dreaming on We Party. We are giving you the facts. We're giving you the exclusives and giving you the best that you could probably get. I want to thank J. Hugh Gordon, thank Chris Taylor, thank Anil Roberts, and thank everyone for joining us, both Prime Ministers from St. Lucia and Dominica as well, for being a part and parcel of the show. We want to thank you as well for being here with us. We thoroughly enjoyed your company. And remember, we continue every single day on We Party Prime. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.
Chaque nation nous venons pour rivaliser avec passion et courage, nos cœurs sont élevés. In the arena, we give our all, with grace and honor, we stand tall. Dans l'arène, nous donnons tout, avec grâce et honneur, nous restons debout. Nous restons debout.
Sponsorship of this broadcast brought to you by
Sports fans, get off the sidelines and join the action with Just Bet.